Hey guys, welcome to Traditional Bow Hunting and Wilderness Podcast. This is Jason Sam Kovac. Today we're going to be talking about hunting out of a smaller vehicle, like a little SUV, something like that, like what you see behind me here with my little Jeep Renegade. I bought this car. We're turning in a lease on our Explorer, getting rid of that. That was my wife's car. We use a diesel back there. The black Ram diesel is a family vehicle. And so I wanted something to get me back and forth to work. I needed four-wheel drive as well because of me being down there in the winter and needing the reliability. Well, I also picked this vehicle on purpose because of its hunt ability too. This thing has got very, very capable off-road, but it's small. So I'm going to show you how we set these up and some of the mods you might want to do to be able to hunt out of a smaller vehicle. That's the whole purpose of this video. Now there it is right there. And as you can see, look at this thing. Look at as I get down here lower, you see, look at the ground clearance on this thing. I mean, it's 8.9 inches of ground clearance on this thing. It's absolutely awesome. I mean, it's very impressive ground clearance. Look at it compared to that diesel over there too. I mean, not bad. So this thing goes through a lot of stuff very well. It is a sport model Renegade four-wheel drive. It is the sport model, but it has the appearance package on it, which means I have the 17-inch aluminum rims. I have the roof rack on there, and I also have the dark tinted glass around the whole back part of this, which is important for me because on my weddings, I'm carrying $60,000-$70,000 worth of camera gear sometimes. Well, not all at once, but I could very easily have $25,000-$30,000 of camera gear in that thing when I'm working. So having a tinted windows on there is definitely a nice feature for me on weddings, so I don't have to, so people can't see what I have back there. As far as using it off-road, the thing is just incredible. You're talking about a vehicle that gets, and all these SUVs are very similar to this. The advantage to this one was the price. I stole this price-wise. I bought it brand new. Took me about 3 weeks worth of phone calls, about 40-something dealerships, and I had 7 of them actually hang up on me when I told them the price I wanted to get it for, and literally hang up on me. But long story short, I made it happen, and I got this for 36% off of this sticker price. 36%. That is absolutely huge. It's the best deal I've ever made. For the price of, I could buy 4 of these for the price of this Ram truck right here. 4 of them for the price of that. So there's a lot of advantages to having a smaller vehicle and hunting out of it. And I can see where a lot of people want to. It is not hard to make it hunt ready. First thing I did to this, as soon as we got it, I took and changed the tires out. These tires that are on here are actually 1.5 inches taller and 1/2 inch wider than the stock ones that are on there. These are Maxxis 771 Bravo ATs. The size of them is a 225/65 R17. You can see right there. That is the size of these tires, but they are a pretty decent. They're not a mud tire or a BF Goodrich KO or anything like that. They're not super aggressive, but they're all terrain and they're going to do good for what I want. And they still keep my MPGs up, and they also hold up well, on the road as well too. So it's a perfect mix. I bought those tires brand new, shipped to my house for $400, and in the garage I have the original ones that were on here, the original Dunlops that I got listed right now on Craigslist that I'll sell for $250. So it's a $150 upgrade. No big deal whatsoever. I will show you some other advantages and pros and cons and how we set these up, but the tires are an important one. If you're going to be spending time in the woods and you're going to be out there, now if you're just going to your own property and your 10 acres, that's no big deal. But if you're like me and spending time miles and miles in the middle of nowhere, having the good tires does matter. So it's important for me to have them, and I thought it was a worthwhile upgrade. Now on the inside of this thing, as you can see, pretty small, not real big, simple, easy. I will put some links in here for stuff for you as well too. If you get one of these, the way that rack is right here on here for putting your phone magnets, like that's what that is. It's a magnet. I stick my phone on and I can see it the whole time I'm driving for my navigator and stuff. The flat ones do not work. You want one that sticks out a little bit like this so that you can actually see it, and then you can see your phone can sit on here and lay flat down this. If you put it on here, this ridge gets in the way and stops it. So I'll put a link to that in here. I'll put a link to a few of these things down below for you if you're looking for some of that stuff. Makes life a little easier. But very simple design. Standard Goodyear floor mats in there. Nothing fancy, but they're almost WeatherTech-like. You can see how they're going to contain the snow, the slush, and everything. And I paid $30 for the 2 front ones and the both back mats in this compared to $175 for WeatherTechs. In a car this small, okay, when you're dealing with little vehicles, look at how, see, they got all those places where you can trim all that. That's also that you can trim them to fit. Well, look at how perfect that fits and fills that whole thing in here And like I said, I paid $30 for these, you know, front and rears versus 180 for WeatherTech. So like I said, some major advantages to these littler vehicles on that kind of stuff. Other major advantages to it is this thing will go through the sand and stuff like I never seen before. Don't get me wrong. I love trucks. Always had trucks. Had a truck my entire life. That is my favorite vehicle I've ever owned. But when you get that into some deep, soft sand, and both of these vehicles have been down the same exact trails. But when I go down in there with this one, you got to be in four-wheel drive, and you get into some of that real deep, that, you know, half rim deep kind of sand. What happens is this thing starts shaking and bouncing, and you got to kind of chew your way through it as it hops and violently shakes around. My F-150 did the same. Every truck I've owned in that one particular spot does the same, because these side-by-sides and four-wheelers come through there and wreck that huge corner, and so it's pretty normal. When we took this through there, I was shocked. This thing here just zipped right through it and just rolled right over the top. I'm assuming because of the ultra light weight of it and the small stature. But like I said, zero impact. I mean, I couldn't believe it. We had to go back through it again, because I was like, I can't believe that just rolled through that, when that's that one hot spot we get nailed in every time. So like I said, off-road, they perform absolutely excellent. They do a fantastic job, especially for what we're doing, just cruising, you know, hunting two tracks and fire lanes and power lines and getting into hunting spots. This is going to be exactly what you're looking for. Now, there's some other mods that I had to make to this to make it worthwhile for me, to make it huntable, basically, to make it set up where you want it to. I'm going to grab the tripod, set it up, and show you some of those right now. Okay, now as I open this up, one of the things we got to take into consideration is our lack of storage space. We don't have a huge truck bed like we have over here. You can mound full of everything. You're working with a much smaller space. Originally, when I bought this, I put cross rails, which I kept. I like the cross rails. They're going to come in handy for things. But I had cross rails and a roof rack on top of this thing. I already sold the roof rack. I didn't care for the roof rack. I didn't like the lack of miles per gallon. I mean, it took a huge hit, about 7 to 8 miles per gallon I was losing with that roof rack on it on the highway. The wind noise when you hit 75, 80 miles an hour was just overpowering, just ridiculous. So I actually pulled the roof rack off. I was going to send it back, but I had already powdered, or I coated it with bed liner, so I already sold it. But I listed it yesterday on Craigslist and sold it immediately, and it's already gone. So, but you could go with a roof rack up there if you wanted to. I do have the two crossbar rails in there, and if I want to put them on, they don't whistle too bad, they don't hurt the mileage too much, and I can still set things on there if I want to. So when it's actually hunting season, I will probably have those two rails on there just in case I need the extra space. Now, mine does not have a hitch on here either. If you had a hitch, you could run a hitch carrier as well too. Mine did not. I knew wasn't worried about it. When I bought this, before I bought it, I went up to my local dealership. I didn't buy this here in Michigan. I bought it in Ohio because that was where the best price is. Remember, like I said, 36% off of sticker price. But before I bought it, I went up to my local dealership with all of my gear. I took my bow, my jet sled, my tree stand. Well, I didn't take the stands because I knew that they fit in my jet sled. But I took my jet sled, my traction boards, my backpack, my bow, everything with me, and I wanted to make sure it would fit before I bought one of these. And when I found out it did, then I started researching them and looking for what models I was after. So now what you do in here, as you can see, we have it set up perfectly for hunting. I have my jet sled right here. I have my traction boards, which I'll explain. I mean, I got my pack right here and my bow here too. Now I shoot a 64-inch straight limb bow. You know, I mean, this thing is basically taller than I am. But if I put, you know, with my pack sitting right here, which is where my pack always goes, I can run it right between the headrest and it sits perfect right there in there like that without a problem, even with the quiver on. Or I can also set it right here if I want to. I can do whatever I want. The fitting the bow in the car is not hard to do. This is a pretty easy thing to accomplish here. But it lets me keep, I have my pack in here, I got my traction boards, I have my jet sled. My jet sled is filled with my stands, my sticks, anything I want to put in there. It's nice. I can even throw the pack in there as well too if I don't want to have the pack in there. So it makes it really simple. Let me move this bow out of here, take this pack out, but so I can show you some of this. But with this, let me set this down right there. So basically with the jet sled, the beauty of it is that you keep all your stuff in there contained nice and easy. I have a black towel down here. These are a towel I bought from Walmart on clearance. They were $2.97. I bought 4 of them. I have one that goes here. I have another one that can go here. So this whole back area is completely covered with towels, and then I have 2 more stuffed under the seat, so if I need to, I can cover my seat. If I'm covered in mud or wet or anything like that, or my clothes are all bloody, I can actually cover my seat and keep it protected as well also. I do that in every vehicle, so so it's nice. But basically, with the jet sled, even with deer, so if I go out there and I kill a deer, I go take this jet sled, I throw the deer in a jet sled, I drag it back here to the car, I can very simply take this jet sled and then take it and lift it right up here and set it right on there just like that. Grab the bottom of this and slide it right in. And when this is inside of here, the entire deer is inside of this as well too, and there's no blood, no hair, no nothing, no anything getting to the car. It is all self-contained perfectly in this jet sled. Nice, sweet, and simple and easy. It's better than even being in the back of a truck when it's raining and you're getting all that rain and mist and road soot and stuff on there. Everything is kept nice, neat, and clean. Sits right in here, sweet and simple. So the jet sled is a fantastic thing. This is your full size 54-inch jet sled. You could even go with a mini one if you want the jet sled junior to have more room in there, but my full-size one is what I use mostly, because if you can see here, my tree stands fit flat in there. And the junior one, they're sticking off the side a little bit like this. And not that it's a big deal, but I like that I can actually fit all that stuff flat in this one. And it drags a little better because it's a bigger one. I'll have links for this stuff down below. These jet sleds are not expensive. And at the end of this, I'll try and link a video for you on how to actually set this jet sled up with the proper handles and the stuff that you're looking for in here and the latching on the side. So, I'll, you know, the loops right here. So I'll put a video in there that shows you that information so you can see it. Well, I take that out of the way. So now in here, like I said, these towels, they work fantastic. They're just something simple, easy. If you get it dirty, you wash it. There's nothing to it, really simple. Traction boards. Traction boards are pretty awesome. I mean, who doesn't want to have traction boards? Traction boards are great. The advantage to me for traction boards in this car versus why I don't carry them in my Ram, in my truck, you've watched me do videos where I've actually showed you how to take a 2x4, which I carry 2x4s in the back of that to use as a ramp for that jet sled. And I can also use them with my handsaw and cut them and put them on each of the wheels and leave them sticking out long and strap them right to there. And I can actually use them to get me unstuck. And they work incredible. The method is awesome. On a vehicle like this and a lot of your smaller SUVs you're getting into, the distance between a tire and the wheel well, that fender in there, is not going to be wide enough to let you roll a 2x4 around that tire, especially in uneven terrain or trying to turn the wheels. You're not going to be able to without wrecking your fenders. I don't want to have to deal with that. So I went the route of traction boards. Traction boards are an incredible thing. If you don't know anything about these, look them up, watch some videos on them. They're dirt cheap. Not expensive at all. The ones that have the best rating is the Max Tracks, which are expensive. They're like, they're $350. But these X-Bowl ones right here, you watch the reviews on this stuff, they'll blow your mind. They do just as good. They're incredible. And I got them on Amazon for like $70 for 2 of them. I got them tied together right now so they stay as one. But they come in a nice bag and everything for you. What you do is you take these, and when you're stuck, especially here where I am, where I have soft snow, or I have snow I'm dealing with, deep snow sometimes, sand and mud. Those are the 3 things that lock me up here where I hunt at. Well, if I get into any of those scenarios, that's where these shine. You take this, you stick it, just stuff that right in under the wheel on there, and then you slowly, without spinning the tires, you drive forward, and your tires will grip on all of these knobs, and it will pull you right up on this. The bottom of these are designed to stick to the ground and stay right there and not move. They're fantastic. Okay, the video, I've watched probably 60 hours of videos before I made my decision on what I wanted to do on these things, and I'm telling you, this is going to be a gold mine because I cannot use that 2x4 trick on the tires. The 2x4 trick on the tires, love it. It's incredible. These, however, like I said, will do exactly what I need. Probably is just as good, but what else is nice about them is I don't have to cut 2x4s, lash them to each of the wheels, fight with all that, unhook. I just pull these right out of the back end, stick them under the wheel, and be gone. So I'm carrying them. They're going to be exciting, and they don't take up much space. With those seats folded down, I lay them right here just like that. If I'm going downstate and I don't want to take them, you know, when I put my camera gear in here, I just pull them out, set them in the garage. There's nothing to it to take these and throw them in and out of there. So I definitely like them. Now, with those done, you can see I got the front seats laid down. That's how you're going to want it to be when you need the room in here. There are some other things that I put in here that we're going to talk about for a minute. Now, if you're looking at a Renegade or a Jeep product or any other compact SUV, I got a few tips for you that is going to save you some serious money and make things better. Now, first off, this is not actually, this here was this thing that says Jeep is what I'm using as a mat. Okay, I'm actually using this as a mat back here because it fits. What that was is that when underneath all of this, this car did not come with a spare tire. Many of your small compact SUVs, they don't come with a spare tire. I don't know why that is, but they give you a stupid inflator. It is an air pump and a can of Fix-A-Flat, and then it's a huge foam area in there that holds that thing, and there's no spare tire. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, I want to spend 3 hours waiting for roadside assistance or somebody to come and change my tire. And with me being on weddings and being able to need to move quick and get going, I've got flats before. I can change a flat in about 8 minutes, and I need to be able to do that here too. Also, a lot of the places I'm hunting, it's miles and miles to get just to cell service, let alone to a road where somebody might drive down once every hour and a half and you could maybe flag down for help. It's a long way out there here. This is people, yeah, I'm in Michigan, but I'm also in northern Michigan. It's pretty rugged, remote country up here, and there's a lot of places without a lot of people around and no cell service. So I need that spare tire. To me, it's important. So knowing it didn't come with a spare tire, I asked the dealer, how much is it for their spare tire kit? Because the Trailhawk version of this vehicle, the Renegade Trailhawk, comes with a full-size spare. Why? Because it's an off-road vehicle. That's what they classify it as, trail rated. Trail rated means you need a spare tire. So it comes with, it has a spot in this for a spare tire. They just fill it with this big block of foam and put one little stupid inflator in there. But it does have the spot for it. So I called them and I asked them how much it was for the inflator, or for the spare tire. They said, well, the donut set, the donut, the jack, and the donut and the jack and the tire iron is $400 for that set. I said, what, $400 for a donut and a jack? And they said, yeah, that's what the kit is, but it fits exactly where it's supposed to. And I said, okay, thanks, no good, I'll take care of this myself. So what I did is I went on Amazon, and I'll put links down below so you can find this stuff too, but I bought my own steel wheel, 17-inch steel wheel that had the same lug pattern as what this vehicle here does. And then I bought a tire, the same size tire as what's on here. I bought a cheaper tire. It's probably a Chinese one, but it looked pretty decent tire and had really good reviews, and I got it for like $60. I got the wheel for like $70 or something, so I got about $130 invested in that. And then I bought an extendable four-way on there that was really, it was like $10 on Amazon. So now I had everything set but the jack. I could have just bought a $20 or $30 scissor jack and been probably okay, but because this thing actually does have so much ground clearance, especially to where the jack points are on it, the scissor jack for this is a little trickier, and it's actually got to cut out in for the pinch weld on where it's supposed to be. So I wanted the specific jack that came for the Trailhawk model. Of course, $80 at the dealer. Instead, I went on eBay. It took me 2 minutes to find somebody that was selling one from a salvage yard. It was new, but technically used because it was in a customer's purchased vehicle, but then that car got wrecked, and so they parted out and they sell the jack. I bought it for $40. I got the brand new, never used, $40 for the jack. So all in all, I had like $165 invested into having a full-size spare tire on a good full-size wheel and the correct jack and everything versus their $400 kit for a donut. So that's something to think about. Again, I'll put some links down below for you, but you want, especially four-wheel drive, you want a full-size spare. A donut is not good even on the transmission. But this was what covered that foam inflator under there. Okay, you had the foam and then you had the inflator, and they put this fancy Jeep logo little piece of rug kind of thing on top of that, and then that was under there, and then so it gave you more room under there. Well, I took this and I cut the handle off of it and I put it in here now as a mat, and it fits perfectly back here. So I'm cheap and lazy and I'm using it. And it's dished. It's got a high lip all the way around it, so if something did spill into this, it's not getting below it. It's going to all stay right in there. So that's what I did to make this little, to turn that into a mat. Now, under here, what's nice about this setup, good and bad. Now, again, most of this is about hunting out of a small vehicle, but you're going to find this in any vehicle, a lot of this stuff. And if you're also looking at the Renegade, one of the things that bothered me tremendously about this is an adjustable load floor, okay? So it can go at different level intervals. All right, well, that's good and bad because none of the leveled intervals meet up with the spare tire under there. So what that means is that if I put this in here and I don't have it set up the way I do, you have about this much room between the middle of this and where the next point for it to reach, which is a spare tire, is down there. It is held by 4 points. You got a point here, a point there, another one there. It's actually like 6, okay, that hold this fiberglass board on here. I have a 73-pound camera bag. I'm going to take that thing and I'm going to set it right in the middle of this. It will not take long for that to bow and sag from having that weight on there. So I was not happy with that setup. So what I did is used these, which work absolutely perfect. They are the exact perfect height. These are my other mini traction boards. These ones I bought after I bought those because of the fact that I thought, wow, 24 inches, having another set's not bad, and I'll bet they'll fill what I want, and they did exactly what I wanted to. So these are 2 more traction boards, just like those ones are. Little 24-inch ones, which perfect for this vehicle anyway. So even if I don't want to take those ones, I already have these in here, which is amazing. But when I set them in a tire upside down like this, and I put them in there, now when I put that shelf across, it rests, the highest point is right here in the middle. So when I have this on, I no longer have to worry about that thing dropping down. Now all that weight can go right there and it's not going to push anything down. There's no bowing because I have those traction mats under there. So kind of worked out really good for me in this particular vehicle and the way I set it up. So in here I have those 2 traction mats in there. They work fantastic. You know, I got the full-size spare tire, the whole wheel in there. I'll actually bring you in here a little closer so you can see. All right, here you can see in there now, this is it. There's that full-size spare tire and rim from Amazon. I bought them both on Amazon, had them shipped to me free with Prime, and then as soon as I got it, I took it up to my local dealer at my tire shop here, and they mounted it and balanced it, and they charged me a whopping $9 to do it. And then I got a full-size spare in there, which does have a screw-down set, so it's locked and held into place. Inside of here, I got jumper cables. I got various straps, some D-shackles and stuff inside this t-shirt here to keep them from rattling. My very cool little window scraper is now in there officially. But I have some recovery stuff in here as well, too, because, again, we're out there in the woods. I got a full-size recovery strap here. This is actually a come-along that's wrapped in a t-shirt there, but that is a 6,000-pound come-along, just your standard normal come-along that would pull it out of there if I need to, be able to extract me. I got another tow strap down here in the corner. I got some ropes in here and stuff like that. This is actually a inflator, a tire inflator, so that I can air down my tires, which airing down your tires sometimes is all you need to get out of a bad spot. Well, when I air them down, I can air them back up. There's actually a better one in this out there that I have too, that I keep in a Ram truck that I like a lot better. I'll put a link for it down there for you. I've also done a video review on it, so I'll show that. But then this is the bag here that those X-Bowl, those big long traction boards came in. They came in this nice bag. Why am I leaving it in here? Because of the fact that if I have to use those traction boards in the mud, now if you're using them in snow or sand, it's okay because that stuff just washes or melts right off. But in the mud, I'm going to put them under my tires. They're going to get caked full of dirt and mud. Then I'm going to put them back in my car. Well, this bag is kind of like, it's not waterproof, but it's you know, it's going to be mud proof is what it is. So I can stick those muddy ones into this bag before I put them back in here and keep my car clean until I get home. And then when I get home, I can wash this bag. I can wash the boards off. I can wash everything and make it all nice, neat, and clean. And this thing takes up no space and weighs next to nothing. So definitely kind of cool that they give you that. And that's why I'm keeping it in here. I also have the jack. This is that jack that I bought through this design for this. Here's that pinch weld. Again, if you are looking at a Renegade, see that pinch weld design right there? That jack is designed to fit that pinch weld in there. That's why I wanted their specific one that they have. So I bought this kit, like I said, on eBay out of a used one or a wrecked car for $40 versus paying $80 for the same thing from the dealership. So that's definitely a nice bonus. Rope. I have rope. I have enough of this stuff to be able to do all 4 wheels 4 times. So I have it here. I got it down here. I have some under my seat. I have it at different spots so I can use it as rope too. But the advantage to this is dock line. I already had it laying around, but it's almost half or whatever it is, half-inch diameter dock line. But what's nice is I can take this rope and cut it into pieces, and I can wrap them around this spare tire. So I can go through the rim, around the tire, and tie it. So I got a one loop that goes right around the tire here, put one on the other side, and I can do all these tires. And what those do is that gives traction, okay? So if you're stuck, that rope spinning around, that rope will bite and help lift you out, almost like the 2x4s do, but this will fit between the wheel wells fine. And this stuff will also, this works incredible on ice. It's almost like having chains on. It's almost like walking with a like wool socks on ice. They grip really, really well to that. And they also will work fantastic on these traction boards if I needed to. So if I couldn't get the wheels to catch on this and they just kept spinning, I couldn't get out, by putting these a couple loops of that rope on there, that rope will come around and grab onto these and help pull that tire right up on there very easy. So I keep that rope in a bunch of spots in here. Again, light weighs nothing, but extraction is important to me. And then, while we're at it, my shovel. Yes, same one that you saw in my Ram, in a Dodge Ram pickup. I bought another one. I carry these everywhere. They've been in my, I've had a shovel in my car for as long as I can remember. They're lightweight, little, but this will save your butt. Yes, it's brand new because I just bought it to go in this new car. But eventually, here before season's over, this thing will be used like crazy. It's just the way it works. It's just part of the game. So having a shovel in there, very important. Fortunately for me, the way it's set up in here, I don't have to mount it. It just fits perfectly, and I can wedge it right in here by the spare tire. And when I wedge it right down in there like that, this jack on there keeps it all from moving and doesn't let it make any noise, and it's set and it just fits in there. Everything fits perfectly in here. So very happy with the layout of it. You just take your stuff, stick it wherever you need to put it in at. These fit right in there, and like I said, create that middle ground, because you can see the points here. I got a point right here, here, and here. There's a little edge across here, and there's another point there, but that's all that holds that fiberglass board up. And you can see that it's about that far from the middle of this, or hitting this wheel. So having these in there give me the support for my heavy loads. If you're not carrying anything heavy back here right on top of this board, then it's probably not important to you. But to me, having all that weight be able to support that camera bags is very important. So that kind of shows you the setup in there. You know, I mean, obviously you're not going to have your back seats in a vehicle that you're going to set up for hunting very well. Most likely not, especially using a jet sled, especially something as small as this Renegade. But what's nice is they fold very flat, so you have this huge flat area that makes it very beneficial and easy to work with. All right, now one more negative to one of these things, one of these smaller SUVs, is they're most likely not going to have tow hooks. I could have bought a Trailhawk model, which does have tow hooks on it, but that Trailhawk model would have cost me about $6,000 more than I paid for this, and I wasn't gaining enough to make it worthwhile for what I'm going to do with it. So, but I have no tow hooks on the back, and I have no tow hooks on the front. This is kind of the way most vehicles come, okay? I mean, there's none on there. If you look at my daughter's Compass over there, there's none on that. My wife's Explorer that we're getting ready to trade in, that white Explorer is what we're replacing with that. No tow hooks, front, back, no nothing. That's how most cars are today. They don't have tow hooks. Where if you look at the truck here, you know, you got the hitch on the back with the tow hooks there, and you have the big tow hooks on the front of it because it's four-wheel drive. So, I mean, it's nice. I've never personally myself drove many cars that don't have tow hooks, like you see right here. And so those are nice. But now we don't have them. So we needed a solution for this. Not only because I'm anal and I want that way of being able to get out with that come-along. Otherwise, that come-along is worthless if I have nothing to connect it to. So having a way to be able to get yourself extracted if you're in a hole with a come-along or with a buddy with a truck is nice. But it's important for me on my weddings as well, too, because if I just barely slip into a ditch or slide off the road enough to where I'm stuck and I need to be at a reception or I'm on my way to a wedding, I don't have the luxury of waiting for tow trucks. I need to be able to flag somebody down with a truck that can yank me right out. Well, having the right tool to do that is important. So I have this bridle, okay? This is a towing bridle that I bought. I will put a link to it. They are not very expensive, but it will be worth its weight in gold. I keep it right under the front seat. Again, another towel, like I told you. And then this is the tow bridle right here. And what this is, I will lay it here so you see it. But what we have, you set it out here so that you can see it good. Right here. So this is a towing bridle. Okay, so if this is the back of that car and I happen to get this thing stuck, say I went nose first into a ditch and I needed somebody to pull me out, what this does is it allows somebody to connect the tow strap for them to be able to grab me and pull me out. It's going to connect right here. And then on this, these are 2 3-foot sections on here, so you can spread them to each side of the frame. You got 2 rails of frame that run under all cars. They're basically, you know, subframes and stuff, but you got 2 rows of that stuff. Well, on each of those rows, there are holes that are inside of that frame for these purposes, to be able to tie them down on flatbed trailers and for towing. On the end of this, you have 3 different versions. Okay, you have the mini J hook right here, which is what that is. That's a mini J hook. You have a T hook right here. And then you have, I think they call this a G hook, is what I think they call that, right there. It's a little different kind of shape, but these are your 3 main components. But somewhere underneath pretty much every single car that's made, there is a way to hook these in, and you hook one on one side, one on the other side of the frame, and then when you hook up your tow line to that and you pull, that gives you that perfect way to be able to drag that vehicle out. Again, not very expensive, only weighs about probably 5-6 pounds. It's not very heavy because of the straps. The chain ones are very heavy, but this one here with the straps makes it pretty lightweight, and believe it or not, it folds up to just a little bigger than the inside of your hand. I mean, it's not big. I fit it underneath the front seat of this little bitty car, and it fits right under there perfect, along with 2 towels. So just to give you an example, but that will let me be able to have anybody pull me out, or will also let me be able to self-extract myself with that come along too. So very nice feature. I'll put a link to it below, like I said, with all this stuff, but these are some of the little benefits of using, you know, a little SUV. These things are fantastic on gas mileage. They're dirt cheap to buy. They cost like no money to own, and they're 4-wheel drive, and they handle off-road excellent. They handle on-road excellent, and they make a fantastic car. Don't get me wrong. I love my truck. This is a cute, fun little get-her-done kind of tool that I'm not going to lie, I'm really impressed with what it can do, and I'm really looking forward to doing some local hunting on it. I'm not taking this out of state and doing hunting trips with it. I have that truck for that, and trailers and things like that I'll use. But for right here locally, where I'm just going 40, 50 miles away and heading into, you know, some of the places I hunt, that little thing right there is going to work like a champ. Now, another feature of it, too, that people don't think about that's kind of nice, a little bonus that I found because I've been taking my wife's Explorer with me for weddings lately, while we've been burning the miles up on it, is a hatchback. There is an advantage to having a hatchback. So with this open, so when you open this up, you have, in essence, an umbrella. Okay, you have a canopy right there. That is a beautiful thing. So when I come out, like if I head out to go, if I'm hunting and I come out and it's raining and I want to get my rain gear on, I can walk out of the car and come stand underneath this thing right here, and I can throw down that, you saw it under there, there's a little rubber mat in there. It's almost like a half a floor mat. It's what was the trans hump mat that didn't fit in here, that was part of those Goodyear mats, but I can set that right on the ground, and then I can change my clothes and be completely dry. Or if I come back from hunting in the rain, I can come in, open this hatch and stand here, and I can take off all my rain gear, my wet muddy boots, all my stuff, and then put all that in a jet sled, and then close that, walk around to the car, and be nice and dry while I'm doing it. So it's kind of nice to have that canopy. I use the one on the Explorer all the time when I'm shooting weddings. If it's pouring rain and I got to throw my gear together, I can run from the door to back here, stand underneath there, and do all the stuff I need to and get everything ready while I'm dry before I head away from the car. So the hatchback is a nice feature. Now on the trucks, I used them before, same kind of scenario, but I would take this jet sled and I would open this door and put the jet sled across the top, and that would give me my dry spot right there. And that worked pretty good, but it required me to, in the rain, get out, go to the back, grab the jet sled out of the back, bring it back around, open both doors, lay it up there, where this, quick little run, right there, and I'm set. So kind of a nice little feature having that hatchback on there. Like I said, there's a lot of benefit to these small little SUVs, and I don't care who makes it. I looked at the Subaru Crosstrek 2 was another one that really interests me. I liked it a lot, but again, you're talking about $8,000 more to get into that versus what I could this one. I even looked at the compasses like my daughter has, but there you're talking $3,500 more for that compass. This was the steal of the century to do what I wanted it to do and I needed to do for work, daily driving, and for as a little off-road fun vehicle. So this was the perfect one for me. And as you can see by the stuff you saw in this video, it's not hard or expensive to make it very hunt-worthy and very off-road worthy for what we're trying to do. And again, if you ever needed more room, get one. I could put a hitch on this for $125 and then add a rack on the back if I wanted to. Or again, I did have the roof rack, which I did not like at all, but you could always do that. So there's a lot of options. So there you go. That's how you turn a small SUV, a little pint-sized car, into a great hunting rig, great adventure rig. So thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.